So I wanted to talk about the Brazilian airliner crash. I first seen it on CBS, and it popped up on my YouTube feed. I just want to give my condolences to the families of the 60 to 62. I seen 60 to 62, so I'm not sure exactly how many people it was, but it was 60 people, we'll say. But CBS had their consultant on there, and they were talking to a transportation expert. So the plane had obviously it lost lift, and it literally just fell out of the sky. So it got into a flat spin. So I have very, very little flight experience. I have about, I think it's 7.5 hours logged. So I am far from an expert in this regard. But so it loses lift, and it kind of, spin would be like this, but it loses lift, and it just literally just spins. It spins in a flat circle. This is pretty incoherent, and I'm sorry, but the only thing you can do is just fall. Well, they're trying to pitch down to try to increase the airspeed so they can get lift again, so they can try to regain control of the aircraft, but they just don't have enough altitude because they're on approach into the airport. So they literally don't have enough altitude to sacrifice to try to regain airspeed. And crash happened. So who knows? I mean, obviously it just happened, so we have no idea what caused it. There was ice warnings in the area. But I mean, who knows if that was the actual cause of it? Did they not de-ice? Did the de-icing equipment on board the aircraft not work? I mean, who knows? In U.S. federal aviation regulations, it's 93.6, I believe it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. Basically, it tells you that you have to know everything about everything that could possibly go wrong with your aircraft. And you have to know every airport along your route that you might need to land at for every potential emergency. Basically, the law puts the onus on the pilot in charge. I don't know if Brazilian aviation regulations have the same thing. I would imagine they would probably have something pretty similar to it. But are they going to call this pilot error? Probably. That's usually what it always comes down to. It always seems to come down to pilot error. So in the aviation world, we can always look at every incident, every crash, and we can learn something from it. Unfortunately, this incident cost 63 people their lives, but we can use this as a learning experience. So once the investigation comes out, we can figure out what happened, why did it happen, how to prevent it, and then we can train on how to prevent this incident in the future. But the news media asks some insanely stupid questions sometimes. So they asked their aviation expert, do you think the passengers on board knew what was happening? Yeah, they absolutely did. That would not have been a very pleasant last minute or two of their life. One, you'd have been airborne because you're falling, so you'd have been weightless. And as that plane spins, you're going to have the G-forces throwing you either against the bulkhead or against the person next to you. Everybody would have been screaming and crying. It would have been a horrifying last few minutes. So yeah, unfortunately, they knew what was going on, and there was nothing they could do about it. So again, my condolences to the families, and I'm hoping that this wasn't too incoherent. Until next time, see ya.